All right, come on, guys. All right, there's Scott. There's Clint. Everybody will find their way over here. Unfortunately, the weather is playing havoc on all signals up here right now. I do not know what the deal is, but it's been a pit. I'm sure we just lost a number of people,
Mm.
but we're running off the cell phone this time, the cell phone signal. We have noticed when it's been saturated for a couple of days, Starlink does get a little goofy on us. So that's why I switched it over to hotspot on the cell phone. Hopefully that works for a little while. We have a decent signal right now. So there's John,
Hi, John.
right? Yeah. Let me text Bill and let him know.
Mhm.
Keep asking questions if you have any questions, guys.
We'll catch up in a minute.
All right. There, I sent out a couple emails. All right. Well, we're back up, guys. Who's in here? But not sure what the last thing you guys heard was. Anybody remember? Hey, Seashell, good seeing you. Hey, Bill.
Bill's back. Okay.
No, Matt, it's not YouTube. It was Starlink this time. It's Rushing Winds. Hey, how are you doing? When do you prep for winter? We prep for winter all summer. It is a constant thing here.
Mhm.
We got most of our vegetables for the winter. We just got to go in and get some meats and stuff like that. Different varieties of things. I like roast stuff like that, so I need to get some of that stuff. Something about sending us all money. Yeah, nice try, Scott. There's Alone. Thank you for coming back, Alone.
Thanks for coming back.
Oh, I don't know if you guys heard about the ordeal with the freezer or not. If you
Oh.
did, say something. But when we came back from town last time, the freezer that we usually keep our vegetables in, we were starting it up and it totally pooped out on us. So we ordered a new one. We're waiting on that to come back from or get here from the
come up
Tundra
from-
truck. And we're hoping that'll be here on Wednesday because I'm running into town on Thursday to pick up the winter supply of dog food and chicken chow. And
That
I barely
doesn't
even
have to
touched
be
my
frozen.
drink. Yeah, that stuff don't have to be frozen. So hopefully it gets here on Wednesday so I can get it up to the house, pull the old small one out and put the new 18.5 in there, which is a
Right.
lot bigger than what we have now. The one we have in there's like a 7 cubic foot for vegetables. And I just need a much bigger one because
Just in case.
hunting season starts Friday.
Mhm.
And I'm telling you, I really want to drop a moose this year.
Yeah.
And they're all around. I'm finding tracks daily. So I'm really hoping that I can get one to get a little close to the house. Thankfully, we have not had a lot of bears out.
We have not.
I had a hair of bears, well, since Sarah and I had the incident down there to tracks. And
Yeah.
then when John was up here, we did have a sow brown and 2 older cubs on the trail cam. So,
Right.
that's all I've seen. I haven't seen any other bears yet since then. So you're talking about a month's time since
Yeah.
we've seen a bear. The fishing hasn't been that good. The silvers were dropped to 1 fish per person. So it's not been good for fishing at all. I didn't really attempt. I went out once or twice. I did not catch anything. So no salmon this year. Hey, Ashley. Hello. But we're lucky. We have our friends at Alaska Cut the Cord who will be following us tonight at approximately 5:45 for their live. We were with luck. They gave us some fish. They give us a couple
They do.
fillets and they give us
They're
some yellow eye.
Extremely generous.
Yep. If you guys have not watched any of Alaska Cut the Cords videos, you need to, as well as all the other channels that are in here tonight. But Adam and Phil's become really good friends with me and Sarah, and they're very kind-hearted, very generous people.
And knowledgeable.
And very knowledgeable.
Extremely
If they see somebody having an issue, they're there to help the person. You know, we're not in dire straits, but Adam's like, here, I know you weren't able to go fishing. Take some salmon.
That's
And
really
we
nice.
appreciate that, you know, because not being able to get any wasn't that good this year. There's still a chance, but I don't have time to go out fishing right now. I don't even have time to go and get mushrooms. I haven't even, well, this year so far, I think I've seen two bleach on my trails, where this time last year I had what, half dozen, 2 dozen of them,
Well, at least
a lot.
Yeah.
But this year, no
nothing,
bleach.
no.
And
Yeah,
I,
it's awfully.
well,
it
they
was
don't
wet
mind the
last year, too.
moisture.
It was
They don't
not-
mind the
It
moisture.
was wet last year. too.
Yeah. But we're not going to get a chance to go in and go after chanterelles or anything because we're at the last crunch here. We've still got a number of small projects to get done before the snow flies. Moose Coffin, which is where our freezers are,
Yes.
and patch a few other buildings that have issues, all before snow flies. And with this rain, I don't want to be working on a roof in the rain because number one,
Slippery.
risk of falling. And as I'm making holes, water's going in, and I don't want to have to deal with that. So I'm hoping sometime in mid to late September, we'll have a couple good days where I can get up and do the roof jobs. In the meantime, I'll just keep prepping. Let's see if I'm missing anything in here. I know there's a lot of things going by. Give me a second, guys. I'm scrolling back. Okay, everybody's greeting everybody. OP owners are back. Got to run for a bit. Not a problem. Do your thing, Matt. There's Ashley coming in and saying hello. Everybody's greeting Ashley, Bill, and rambling with the Brums. Thanks. John says they're great people. Yes, John got to hang out with Adam and Phyllis on 2 occasions while he was up here in Alaska visiting.
Really good.
Yep. And then Rushing Mountain says, hey, Original 6. Ashley's greeting everybody. Hey, there is Brun.
Yay.
Good to see you, Brun Free. Happy Monday. John has said back here, I just found it. Wolves might have pushed them. Now, the Bears will not really worry about the wolves too much unless there's a large pack. And I've only seen the one set of tracks so far.
Right.
I don't know if I posted that on YouTube or not, but I come across a couple of wolf tracks on the trail where they're good sized tracks. And they were coming up the trail and they got within half to quarter mile of the house.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to see some of them this winter.
Yeah.
The Ermines have been hit or miss at the house. Actually, I don't think they're here at all at the house.
I haven't seen one.
We shouldn't be cutting out because where am I? Cell phone. Where is my phone? It needs to be over here.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Hotspot.
Okay.
Every other sound is coming through. Great. It's the weather, guys. So I'm sorry about that. How signal I got there is. Firstly, because this is tourist season as well, they do horrible for anything. It's not raining up here at the time, Bill.
Under the eaves. We don't have it streaming from the
We don't have a gutter system.
a gutter system yet, but we've had that thing got totally full.
Yeah, in like a day and a half.
Yeah. So we emptied it and it's not full again, but that was only day before yesterday. It means water's not a problem.
Yeah.
But getting things done is really hard when it's soaking wet.
Yeah, you're gonna make sure can you guys hear Sarah okay? Because she does speak kind of softly.
I do.
Brun says, hi Sarah, how's things?
Hi. Hi, Brun. Things are good. Wet, but good. Mm-hmm.
And John says they don't want to talk about the weather. Yeah, unfortunately, Florida and my old area where John is about to get slapped by another hurricane. So just be safe, John.
And they haven't recovered from the first one yet, from the last one, which was not this last winter, but the winter before.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad.
Scott rambling at the Brums saying lips are moving, but no sound. This is not good.
Oh dear.
I've been very busy doing lots of things in the garden and doing the beach, etc. That's Brun.
Run, good. Yay, beach.
Yes. We have a beach. It's all rocks though.
It is rocks.
Yes, sound is coming in well.
Oh,
Okay.
good, good.
All right. Well, hopefully, because it is kind of looks like it's clearing a little bit out there, so the signal will get a bit better. All right. Bill says he's hearing us fine. A
Good.
little blurry though. That's going to be the signal.
Yeah.
That's going to be the signal. Sorry, guys. God, I had a whole list of things I was going to go over tonight with you guys, and I'm having a
But
brain
well,
fart.
it's just,
Well, we already went over the freezer. We went over a couple of construction built things we're going to do. One,
the
the
roofs.
Yep, the roofs. We did get the underpinning done around the base of the house, and let me tell you, it has
Oh,
made a huge difference on the
huge.
temperature in the house already.
Huge difference.
Most of you guys know this house is around 1,900 feet under air or under roof, I guess.
Under roof.
Under roof. We call it
Mhm.
under air down in Florida when we're down
Yeah.
there. And it was open to the elements. At one end, it was about a foot. At the other end, it was about 4 foot.
Mhm.
And there was no insulation in the floor all last winter. So they're chilly in here. Well,
Yeah.
the house
The-
wasn't chilly. The floor
The
was
floor
chilly.
was cold. Lots of slippers.
Yes. Our floor, when Jim James built the place, he put in planks about that big and then put another, I think it's about 1/2 inch plywood on top of it. So our floors are
Right.
rather thick,
They're thick.
but with no insulation or under the house or around the edges of the house where we underpinned. Now is underpinned. In here would drop quickly. Even just a couple weeks ago, the
Mhm.
house would be 77 at night or during the day. Outside would get down into about maybe 48, 49. And in the morning, the house was about 60.
Mhm.
Now,
For me.
yeah, 60 is cool to
Inside.
her. But now, the way with the underpinning on all 4 sides of the house, and it's 2-inch pink insulation, so it's R10.
Mhm.
And
And
now
then-
it's about 75 outside or inside, if we have a fire going, if I'm doing some
Mhm.
baking. And even when it drops down into the 70s or 40s outside, the house, when I get up, is still 70 degrees. So it's made a big difference.
We even debate about having the wood fire going for cooking. We do have the little 2-burner propane stove,
Yep.
but it makes for very simple, light dinners.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It's that
with
little,
Rob's cooking,
I like to spread out when I
oh
cook.
yeah, and he makes some wonderful things.
Yep.
Mhm.
Let's see. Bill says, I'm getting my under cabin sealed up so I can have running water in the cabin this winter. I have
That's the
3
other
sides
thing.
complete. And see, now we have 2 210-gallon tanks under the house
Right.
that we keep full as much as possible for our
Mhm.
water. So we're hoping that it does not get any freezing going on down there. That's why we put the insulation around the house and put the plastic down so it would not get no moisture coming through that. So we're hoping that alleviates that. But we're also, underneath the couch we're sitting on right now, we're going to put a small hole in the floor with a fan in it, probably a 24-volt fan. And then from that, it's going to have a thermal switch. Anytime the house gets, or the basement area, we'll call it a basement, a crawl space,
Crawl space.
gets
yeah.
down below like 34 degrees, this fan will kick on and blow warm air from inside the house down there to help keep it from freezing. We do have another option. With this stove, the Obadiah 2000 wood-fired cook stove, we have a 24-inch burner tube that goes inside the firebox. And I can actually plumb that down underneath the house with a low flow pump to coil around those tanks with a couple, copper piping to help keep it from freezing. So that's if it comes to that. We have, if it does freeze, we have our alternate systems.
means.
Alternate means to keep water in the house. Let me see. I know I just missed a couple things. Alone in remote Alaska says, will you do Reflectix under the floors? I'm still getting only part of the conversation coming through. I'm sorry, Alone.
Oh, sorry. We talked about that.
In time, we probably will put some Reflectix under there, but not right yet. We'll probably do that next season unless this works good. If it works good the way I'm doing it, then we're not going to worry about it.
That was one of our first thoughts. Once we got it underpinned, that is making more difference than I dared expect.
Yep.
But it's certainly possible to do that for next summer. We're running out of summer.
Yeah. Well, summer's run out.
Yeah.
No, not running out. It ran out.
Wow, yeah.
Brown says, nope, nothing here.
Good.
I'll turn it off and on again. Bill says he's hearing me fine.
Good, Bill.
Alone says, Brun, yes, free, yes, things are moving forward, but unfortunately slowly.
Mhm.
Alone also says, my 500-gallon tank froze last winter.
Yeah.
Shallow well pump froze and cracked from the.
Oh,
Oh,
dear.
wow.
Wow.
Was that 500-gallon tank under in the basement alone? Because that's
Yeah,
crazy. If
that's
even in your basement it froze, especially with you.
and
Wow.
with that much water, we would hope it would kind of warm itself.
Yeah. And it's not
Good
far,
Lord.
so it should be okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, she said the one in the
Wow.
the cellar is one that froze. That's crazy.
Yikes.
Now,
Well, you're north of us, and I think you're colder.
actually, I think don't think she's north. If we went straight over, I think she's
Well,
actually a little
straight.
south, but that area's a lot colder
That
than we are
area is a
here.
cold area.
Some of you guys don't know we're in a thermal inversion here. I think was it? I think
Our
it was
altitude
this.
is high.
Yeah, our altitude is higher. We get a little bit more exposure from the sun. I think it was about right around Christmas last year. We did a little short video with Alone Remote Alaska, Dave from the Nomestead,
Yep.
and with Adam and Phyllis from Alaska Cut the Cord with
And
about
somebody had told
temperatures.
No,
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 no.
nobody didn't
Bill was tied up. I couldn't get a hold of Bill to have him
Mm,
do it too.
mhm, mhm.
But we all compared our temperatures, and the differences are crazy. It was like a 40-degree difference between here and Alone.
Mhm. We were warmer,
Yeah, we were a lot warmer.
so we're guardedly optimistic about winter
Yep.
and water.
Brun says, sounds like busy times, Bill, and Alone.
Mhm.
Lots to do for us. Yeah, definitely.
Lots.
Hey, our cabin in the woods. How you doing there, Tony? Everybody's talking amongst themselves. John
Nice.
says water agitation. The water agitation is going to take a little bit more power than I want to use right now, John. That's why we're going to do the blower fan underneath the house. And that should work pretty good. Clint says, I have very little issues with freezing. LOL. Yeah, down in Texas.
Yes, Marty.
Original 6. Last Christmas was really cold. I remember that.
Mm,
Yep.
mhm.
Brun says, I'll be complaining about the super hot days soon enough here in Australia. Yeah,
Right.
no.
Mhm.
Alone says we got 108 inches of snow last winter and have 2 weeks
Yeah.
of temps in the negative 50s and 60s each
Oh,
winter. Yeah,
wow.
no.
Yeah. That's cold for me.
Yeah, that's cold. We had this past winter negative 25 once or twice, and then it was usually around negative 10 to 0.
Yeah.
Let me see. Rushing Wind asks, what's our elevation? Our altitude is only about 700 feet. But because of the where the property is situated, we do have the southern exposure here
Mhm.
with sun in the wintertime.
Yes.
Not a lot, of course. I think we get about in the solstice, I think it's 5.5 hours of sun, but it's enough to give us good light in the summer.
Mhm.
And it should weigh amount to the solar panels on the side of the house on the south side. We should get good sun for those. And I have been dropping trees out there. John helped me with that. And I'll post a video on that sometime as
Sure.
well.
Mhm.
Yeah, Brian, talk to John about the heat. It's been horrible down in Florida. I feel
Oh,
so
yeah.
bad for him. I didn't want to see him go home, for 2 reasons. I miss him and the temperatures down there.
So
Brian says, I always wanted a Texas cowboy hat.
hot.
Yeah, Alone, that is a lot of snow. That's
It
actually
is.
less than we had our first winter here. Our first winter here,
Oh my
just
goodness.
in January, we had 10 feet of snow.
It was deep.
Yeah, it was bad. And that was just January. I think by the end of the season, I think we wound up at almost 18 to 20 something foot.
At one point, I couldn't see out my living room window. And I said, Rob, would you please go stomp and shovel?
Yeah, I went
my
on and shoveled it
window
all down.
so I could see out.
Yep.
You sweet.
Brian asked when the first snow's falling. I'm going to say probably early to mid-October.
It's been fairly consistent. We're going into our third winter, and every year it's been something in October.
Right.
All of 2 years.
Right. Tony at our cabin in the woods said, did you have your rubber ducky in those running waters? No.
Oh.
Nope.
We would have lost him.
Yeah, little
It
rubber
was
ducky would've-
really running.
He would have disappeared.
Mhm.
Alone says from November 1 to March 1, the temps average is -20 daily with lows in the -30s most days. Wow.
Oh.
Nope.
Did you know that alone when you bought that? That it would be quite that cold? We didn't do as much research as normally we would have, but when we set foot on the property, it seemed so familiar to both of us from being in upstate New York and in New Hampshire. It seemed just right. And we went
Yes.
ahead with it, and we have never regretted a minute of it.
Oh no. Rushing Wind. Hello, our cabin in the woods. Talking to Tony. And Rushing Wind says, okay, that's not bad. Ours, we are 3250. Yeah. That's
Mhm.
not bad temperature range, Rushing Wind.
No.
Onto it, Ozzy, that's cold alone. Brun,
Mhm.
how will your chickens survive in the cold? Chickens actually can handle down to -30 without an issue before you even got to think about putting anything out there.
Yeah. And our house, their chicken house is a little bit smaller than the other one. And even though there are fewer chickens, um, I think they'll be fine.
They'll be able to huddle a little
They
bit
can
more.
huddle.
I'm doing the finishing touches on the way I wanted to change the insides here in the last few days. So I'll show you guys that sometime soon. Alone says, my first snow will be here in 3 weeks. Too soon. Too soon.
Yeah, we won't be ready yet by 3 weeks.
Oh, well, we will
Well,
be.
we
but
will. We'll be ready when it happens.
Yeah.
But we'd like to be
I was giving Bill.
readier.
Yeah, I was
Is that a
giving
word?
Bill guff about that the other day because he kept saying snow. I'm like, shut up, Bill.
Yes, I
The
remember
mountaintop
that.
should get snow right now. And actually, I saw on my
Mhm.
Facebook page the other day as a memory, Bill, that the mountains had snow on them already by this time, the first winter we were here. Clint
Hmm.
says, will you have heat to heat the chicken coop? Nope.
Nope.
If I have to put any kind of heat out there, I'll just throw a light bulb out there and that should warm them up. We're going to try to give the girls a break this winter.
Right.
We've been water glassing eggs, so it
We
shouldn't be
have
that bad.
plenty of eggs.
Onto it, Ozzy's greeting Rushing Wind.
Nice.
So is Tony. And Alone says, no idea. And it being quite that cold, about it being quite that cold.
You didn't know.
Well, it's
Yeah.
Alaska, so you could expect cold.
Yeah, well, yeah, I remember Alone your video with you and Kenai snuggling in the bedroom, trying to keep warm, and your heat was down, and oh my.
Did you get a new stove yet, Alone?
Yeah, did you?
Brent says, I often think of you in Alaska when I'm metal detecting quietly and wondering what it's like there, and the scenery you have is so beautiful.
beautiful.
Yep.
It's just beautiful.
I've got to get a metal detector. Old man Jim, I'm sure, left all kinds of stuff around this property I need to find.
Oh yeah,
I'm still finding things up here that I did not know was here.
right. Some are amazingly large to be
Yeah.
not found yet.
Right. Bill says chickens can huddle, and if so, and also if you're using the deep litter method, yes, I'll be
Yes,
using the
that's what
deep
we
litter. I've
do.
been building up sawdust for that.
Mhm. I used that same concept when we had dairy replacement heifers in upstate New York.
Yep.
And it worked very well. The barn was very comfortable. Also, I stored a bit of hay in the center of the floor where the calves weren't able to get it from their pens.
Yep.
And that made it cozy.
Alone says, I still have not received my winter woods delivery. That's not
Ooh,
good.
That's not good. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I'd be calling somebody.
Yeah, you need it placed in the proper place by the time so you can access it easily.
Yep. Ashley says that amount of snow and underpinning, you should not notice a big difference. Snow can be really helpful insulating. Sounds crazy, I know.
Yeah.
No, that's the premise of an igloo.
It is.
Our first winter here, we did not get any accumulable snow until December.
Right.
And in mid and late November, that's when we had our 31 1 or 2 days, but we were in a 15 for like 2 weeks.
Mhm.
And the drain system we have in the
Right.
cabin,
Mhm.
it's got full plumbing. But with a shower and the bathroom sink drain, it goes through a crib and then drains down into like a leach field going down the hill. That froze solid by Thanksgiving.
Yeah, early.
And last year, because we had an early snow, it did not.
It did not freeze at all last year.
So we got lucky with that. So what's going to happen is when we start getting snow here, I'm going to start shoveling the snow onto the sides of the house to help insulate it, so there's no wind and stuff like that. So we should be all right this coming winter. And if it's not, I'll just get a little bit more insulation and put another,
Another
another layer of insulation around it. When I put the siding on, I purposely use cabinetry nails, the finish nails, so I could easily pop it off, pound them in, and then put more insulation in there, and then put it on there, put it back on. So I kind of had forethought on that part, because at that point it'll give the undercrawl or the underspace of the house an R20, which is not much less than the walls up here are. So if we keep that a little warm with that vent, it should keep it nice. Sarah, have you been playing the dulcimer? A little bit.
And I thought about it this afternoon even. The two instruments I have are tuned very differently, and they have very different tones of their own, no matter how they're tuned. I tuned the new one just by ear, but it's a soprano, I swear, and my voice isn't. So luckily I don't have to sing with it. But the other one is handcrafted. They're both handmade, but one is handcrafted by a real craftsperson, quite high end. And it has a richness and a depth to the tone that is, it reverberates. It's really lovely. The other one is tuneful. And as I said, soprano. They're both, actually the new one's a little easier to play. It's a smaller scale. My fingers are not big. They're long, but not big. And
not like mine.
And one is upstairs in the bedroom and one is downstairs here in my reading corner. And I do pull it out. Now that I have two, I feel I really should play with these.
Yeah.
It is playing with them long ago. My friend Scotty recognized it.
Yep. Lone says, not this year. I'm drew a blank on the question. I'm sorry. Bron says, I think I'd freeze there. I don't have jackets, etc. And I'd have to go shopping, but I dislike shopping. Bill says, I have a metal detector. John, send me a link to that.
Yeah.
It's easier if you send me the link, because after this, it'd be a pain in the butt for me to find that. Original 6, are you able to get off your property through the winter? Yes. We can take the hurricane train on the first Thursday of every month, or if we had to, we could take a Sunday train in and come back the following Saturday. And that's just too much. That means it's a week in town. With the prices of Airbnbs, you're talking $500, $600, $700, $800 plus meals. And then I'd have to worry about the chickens and stuff like that. So our goal is if we have to go in, it'll be on our first Thursday train and come home on that Saturday. Everything we've been doing this summer is to make it so we do not have to go into town this winter unless we choose to. We picked up from Adam and Phyllis from Alaska Cut the Cord a oil drip stove, a Nordic oil drip stove. And we're gathering all the stuff to put that in. Hopefully Adam and Phyllis will be able to come up here in the next couple of weeks and help us put it in if we have all the bits and pieces. Only thing I really got to get is the flue pipe.
And that will keep the whole place from freezing while we're gone. Last year, I did not go in from
October
through
May. Well, actually, she last time she was in last fall was mid-September, and then she did not go out until May. So,
Malone's complaining.
Yeah.
Writing.
What have I been cooking lately? All kinds of different things. I've been eating. We've had the oxtail.
That soup was so good.
Yep, we've been doing
oxtail itself.
Yep,
roast.
We've been doing some of the. We had some of the canned moose when John was up here that I got from Nomi. And just orange, no, yellow eye, stuff like that. Nothing
Yellow eye.
extravagant right now because I'm so busy with trying to get things done around the
Right.
house.
A lot of
I don't,
wood.
yeah, I don't have a lot of time right now. We've been splitting wood, getting the birch stores built back up. And once
Yes.
I have everything that's on the ground done up, I go back into spruce mode.
Mhm.
And now with the side by side that we picked up from Adam and Phil's
Yuck.
birthday, I've got the Ford in town. Sarah's got the Kawasaki here.
It's a truck. It can do so much work.
Yep. Alone says they have no idea of when they can deliver it either. Oh my.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully you get some wood or
Backup.
some oil.
Yeah. Do you have wood left over from last year alone? And do you use it all summer?
No, she likes it cool.
You do
So
like it cool. That
she
helps.
doesn't keep it much over 50 in the wintertime.
Yeah, 67. I
Yeah.
start putting on layers.
And I start taking off
And
layers.
he's roasting.
I'm happy with it between, if it's under 60, I'm pretty happy.
And I can do 60. In winter, I expect to be cold, and I dress accordingly.
Yeah.
I have excellent quality base layers and some wool socks and slippers.
Wait until you see what John got me for
Oh.
as a gift when he came up here. I'm not going to tell anybody. Don't tell anybody, but I'll do a little video on that. Buffering audio issues. Is it you or is it everybody? Seems cleared up now.
Okay.
You have to play some music for us sometimes, Sarah.
Oh. You are gluttons for punishment.
We got a couple new people in here. It's I know I'm going to say it right. I think it was Hugo Homestead. Hugo Homestead.
As in Hugo culture?
No,
No,
it's.
Hugo.
I think I'm saying it right, but I'm not sure.
I can't read.
No, you don't have glasses. We got to get Sarah new glasses.
I do have to. I have readers, but I can't use readers for the screen. I can use it for a book that's right here.
Yeah.
But not for screens.
Yep. Ashley says, Sarah, are the dulcimers different types of wood? Sometimes that can affect. Yeah,
Yes,
they are different types of wood.
absolutely.
One of them looks like it's solid wood, and the other one looks like it might be real thin veneer, like plywood style.
It could. One is, what did I order? Do you remember what the wood is?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
You ordered that one. We're still down in
believe
Florida.
it's walnut.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It's walnut.
No, it's too light to be walnut.
It's pretty dark.
Or maybe it is. I don't know.
Anyway, that's what I think it is, but I could be misremembering.
Bill says, I think I would go nuts not leaving for that long a time period. Yeah, but Bill, I've got thousands of acres up here.
Oh, yeah.
Even if I'm not in town, I'm out. Sarah gets worried about me because I'll disappear for hours on end during the day. I'll hike up the back hill. I'll go down to the lake. I don't sit still.
No. And I don't go out as much. I do sit on the back of the snow machines occasionally and go for a ride. I'll go to the spring.
Yeah.
And but my favorite season is the go anywhere season. March.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
The snow melts enough in the day and freezes enough at night so that you can just get on that snow machine and go anywhere around here. Miles and miles.
Yep. Let's see. John says, yeah, what's your record for not going into town? Unfortunately, not very good.
No, his is pitiful.
Unfortunately, the first winter we were here, because we were
new.
We were new, the Chachacos. We did not know what we were going to need. So I spent every month I'd go into town at least once. Right. Last winter, because my mom was coming up, I had to go in and out a lot trying to help her. And then when she had to go back south because of her health issues, I was in and out even more trying to get all her stuff sent back down to her. So 30 days to answer your question, John. So I'm hoping this year I can stay in most of the winter unless we choose to go to town. And
it's beautiful here.
Yep.
We enjoy it.
Yep. Annette Witt says, I would really like to know more about those oil drip stoves. They're nice. And go look up Adam and Phil's channel, Alaska Cut the Cord. He built a waste oil drip stove, and it is amazing.
It's in his greenhouse right at the moment.
And it's going to go back in his workshop.
Yes.
John says the moose was amazing. Thank you. Still bragging about it. Good. I'm glad you liked it.
Feels good.
Bill, if you get to town and that's not the reason, then why? Just kidding.
Mhm.
Alone says, I have about a cord and no wood burning in summer. As
Mm.
Rob said, got new oil tank, but not hooked up yet. So need see no oil yet. Oh God, you're
Mm.
batting 1,000, girl.
Mm.
Do you have all the fittings to do it? Because it's not hard to do. Oh, somebody redacted a post. So there's brook trout. Haven't seen you in a while. Brook trout, you're gonna be parched or poached brook trout there down in Florida with the temperatures
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
got. Hopefully, you're gonna be safe there with that storm coming through up in Venice. It's good to see you in here.
Yes.
Bill says to Ashley, I'm on the road system, so it's easy for me to go to town. Plus, I go to my remote cabin a lot of the time during the winter. Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody's greeting brook trout. Huga. That's right. I knew it wasn't the way it looks. I knew it was phonetically pronounced different.
Mhm.
I said it right. Yay, I'm glad I did. It is a concept of peaceful, cozy home. I like
Mhm.
that.
Yes.
Much like your lifestyle. Yep. How's the dog? Sleeping.
Sleeping.
He's down here on the floor. This is his spot where he sits during movie time. Zooey. Zeus. Huh? What? That's his spot. And of course, it's right where feet gotta go.
Yeah.
Earlier today, we're having during breakfast time. I could not get in and out of my chair because every time I move, he was right there,
Right there.
head underneath my chair, and I couldn't get up. Or if I came back, I'd have to go a different route.
He likes to be close.
Yeah, he's very, very attached onto it. Ozzy says, I love to be able to stay in all winter.
Yes.
Alone says, no, oil guy tank will come out soon, but not scheduled yet. Jeez.
Mm.
Well, cord wood should last you a little while. I
Yes.
don't know the stove you have, but even a cord of wood should last any household at least a month, even if it's really inefficient. I mean, we went through in this house here last winter with no underpinning. I think we went through about 7 cords last winter. Now this year we shouldn't go through so much. Now the cabin with that Blaze King Princess 32, we only went through 3 cord.
It's a smaller cabin.
It's a
naturally.
much smaller cabin.
And the
but
bedroom is upstairs.
yeah, but that stove is also rated to like a 1,900 square foot
yeah.
house, and it's tiny.
Mhm.
Now the
It's
cabin
tiny
down the
house.
trail that my mom was going to get, that's got a Blaze King 42, which will cook you out
Absolutely.
big.
It's too big.
John's greeting brook trout. Matt says, well, owners went to buy a new stove, but it may not be able to be installed until spring. Why? Install it yourself, Matt. You get a metal roof or a shingle roof. They're not hard to put in.
No.
I did this one here.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was a hole
Well, no, I put the hole in there.
in the ceiling,
Yeah.
in the roof.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, because when we got here, all the plumbing was up to the roof, but the last stack wasn't put on. And I put that last stack on and had to cut the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley says to Alone, good luck. Hope you can get something going, right?
Oh, yeah.
Shoulder moths is half cord a month. December and January is full cord
Mm-hmm.
or better a month. But last year you used 9 cords over one. That's not horrible. But that was also, you just had that place fully redone.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty good. This year I'm probably guessing we're probably gonna use between 5 and 7 this year.
Mm-hmm.
I've got about 4 cord of spruce done, and I think we have probably about 6 or 7 cords of birch done, but a lot of the birch is still green.
Right.
There's probably about 4 cords of birch that's ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be continuing to cut spruce pretty much year round, as long as if I can find a tree that's coming down and coming to the house, because I don't want a tinderbox around us.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Alone says the roof seems less insulating than the old foam roof. Did they do a hot roof or a cold roof on you? I don't know if you know the difference or not, Alone.
I don't.
That cabin's got a hot roof. That's why we get the ice jamming.
Oh.
Jim could have done a little different. Like when we put the metal roof on it, we're going to change it. We're going to raise it up. That way, the cold air circulates around that, so it makes the snow just slide off a lot easier.
Yep.
Like here in this cabin in the wintertime, this is a semi-hot roof, and it will ice dam up from the heat from the chimney or from the house. But once it gets to a certain point, it breaks free. If it was a true cold roof, it wouldn't have an issue at all. Then she says the snow slid off. Yeah, so you probably get a cold roof, which is good. But I don't know what R value of insulation they put in, but the old rigid foam usually works pretty good. It doesn't allow as many drafts or anything like that. Do you have ridge caps? Brooke Trout says, "Don't you worry about burning spruce." But now the spruce that we have in my area have been dead for about 3 to 6 years because of the beetle kill.
Right.
If it has sap in it, they didn't do their job. Well, we don't want them doing their job because they pretty much in my area, out of every 1,000 spruce trees you see, maybe 5 are alive.
Yeah.
On the opposite side where Alone is, she has a lot of living spruce.
Right.
Here,
And
not so much.
Sappy.
What happens is the beetles get into the tree and they go and eat the bark, and they lay their eggs, and then the larvae go around eating the inner membranes of the spruce tree, and you'll see all the spruce sap come out of the tree. So if you see a lot of the spruce sap, you can just chip it off with a hatchet and it comes right off. And I'm crazy about chimneys. I clean the chimney about every month, whether it needs it or not.
Right.
I have seen chimney fires. I lost a friend that was in a house that had a chimney fire when I was young. I'm not having it happen to me or Sarah and Zeus.
Yeah.
R38, and you don't think it's as warm? Wow. Yeah, because our roof is an R38, and we haven't had a problem. Did they put a dur vent up there? Because you have your plywood. You should have a layer of dur vent on there, which has channels in it that goes to your eaves, and you should have holes in your eaves to let it breathe and circulate. That's the way it should be done, and also reduces any sweating or anything like that.
Yeah, luckily we were either told and or read about that before we finished off the roof in this house.
Well, this house has the dur
and
vents
this
in
dirt.
it. Yeah.
So this one
it's
has it.
set up. I just got to finish putting the vents on the outside. It's with Jim built the eave blocks where the vents are going to go. There's gaps in there, so I haven't worried about it so much. So it's not so bad. Yeah, she's saying that the foam roof held the snow, and that helped with the hold the temp.
Yes.
Yeah, in your area, yeah, I can see why. So they put the baffles on, so maybe. You can get little things that'll mount onto the roof to help hold the snow if you do want snow. I've seen those. Our friend in friend's place in Palmer has that. Alone says no beetle kill here. R38, yes, ridge caps run free. I have big gum trees. Thanks for the reminder. Me too, Brun. John says I don't even use one cord. Shut up, John Hogan.
He's in Florida.
If you're burning wood down in Florida, John, you got an issue, especially as hot as it's been, unless you're having a barbecue. On to it, Ozzy. I live right on the river, Brun. Nice. Ash is laughing at John. And wow, we're actually caught up. Wow. Yeah, campfire. John, no camp. If John was to go out camping, the forest would look really nice because John's like me. He can't sit still.
He would tidy it.
He would tidy the woods.
Yep. He would tidy the woods.
Bill says he's not burning any wood here in Willow. Matt says maybe John has wood pizza oven. No. No. I know what John's got. I know that house well. Which river onto it, Ozzy? Wow. Can't believe I caught up. If I missed anything or anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. We need to kill about another 40 minutes for Adam and Phyllis to come home.
Oh, no.
Because Phyllis is at work and so is Adam. And Phyllis should be getting out any moment. She might be home soon. Wood-fired pizza sounds awesome.
It
Now you're
does.
making me hungry. Yeah.
I thought about pizza today. We haven't had pizza like ever since we've been here.
Well, I'll make some dough up in the next few days. And, well, I'll make some dough when I get back from town from
All
getting the
right,
dog food
that
and chicken
sounds
food.
good. Yeah.
I'll
And
pick up a couple different types of sauces and some pepperoni and stuff like
yeah,
that.
we
We have
don't
mozzarella.
we do have we have mozzarella.
Yeah, there's some in the freezer.
Oh,
We've been trying to change our diet up on a weekly
just a
basis,
little more
trying to change
variety.
different variety. Um, let's see. John says, burn barrel out back, burn today before the storm. Yeah, well, that's burning trash.
Yeah.
That's because you choose to burn, not because you're cold, butthead. Oh, John knows I'm picking on him because he's going to give me shit later on. Excuse my
Yes.
language. And John is a brother to me. I mean, we pick on each other something fierce. And I got a package from him in the mail today, full of all kinds of goodies. And thank you, John. Love you, brother.
Yes.
Matt says, Ashley, we're having steak for dinner, mushrooms that were harvested on the property. Very nice.
Oh, nice.
Brian, I live at a beachside area. Nice. Bill says, I'm planning on doing a wood pizza oven in my outdoor kitchen. I might. It depends. I'm thinking about doing a rocket stove out there. I'm not sure yet. And if I do, I'll add a pizza oven onto it. I've got to get with Noam about that.
Yep.
Planning on doing it with. Okay, I already read that one. On to it, Aussie. Campisi Mountains away, 50 meters away, and Murray less than a kilometer away. Okay, don't know that area.
But
Yep,
nice
we'll have to look
nice
into
to
it.
learn about it.
Yes, it is. Ashley says mushrooms and steaks, definitely the ticket. Yes.
Great combination.
And that's why I'm sad. I'm running low on my chanterelles, and I know I'm not going to be able to get into town to look for mushrooms. I have been lucky, and I have been getting some lion's mane mushrooms. I've got some dried. I've got a couple on the counter that I've got to cook up this week. And the girl that's been selling me the lion's mane also told me she'll sell me some inoculated bags of blue oysters, and not Blue Oyster Cult band, just blue oysters. So I'm hoping I can throw those some underneath the house and get them growing under there. We'll see.
She's right in top.
Yeah, she's right on the spur. Yep.
Lovely woman.
Alone asked Matt what kind of mushrooms. I harvest some hawk's wings today. Yeah, I wish I had a hawk's wings. Brun says, Rob, do you both have to waterproof your shoes often and clothing? I just picked up in town on our last trip together a new set of muck boots that are insulated, that are like what Sarah wears, and they'll be good for me. And they're waterproof all the way up to almost my knee.
Yeah.
Other than in the summertime, I'm generally wearing military combat boots, and they're not waterproof. And I don't want them waterproof. I need to have my feet breathe.
Right.
If they get wet, I bring them home, I dry them out, and I put them back on. If my feet are getting wet, it's because I'm doing something in the water. So I don't worry about waterproofing.
My muck boots, Muck is a brand. They have gone through 2 winters with no problems at all. And I've been wearing them in because of the wet here. I just slide them on. They're so easy. And I haven't had wet feet.
Yep. No, if I'm planning to be around water, I have some extra toughs I'll put on. But I need to get a new pair of those because they were gems and they're getting holy.
They're getting weary.
Matt says alone. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask. Bill says I've got a lot of Mario Brothers mushrooms growing on the property. Yeah, the flag, Eric, is. I'll pass on that. I know a lot of people do eat them after you do whatever you got to do to them. I'm not interested. I don't like seeing purple dragons flying around with squirrels. Onto it, Ozzy. That means I'm surrounded by 3 rivers, Rob, and a swamp 10 meters away.
Oh my.
Yeah. We got 2 creeks, a river, a lake, and a lot of, not a lot of swamp, but swamp. We get swamp below us and swamp above us. AFJ.
A bog down over the.
AFJ says the thumbnail for this live is beautiful. Is that the view from your property? If you're talking about the mountain, yes. That is the view from the property here.
It is.
Actually saying hello to AFJ. Let me see. He says, good evening to Ashley. Brun says, wherever we are live is paradise and are all blessed, I think. Yes, I agree.
Mhm.
Onto it, Ozzy. I'm canning mushrooms today. And that's right, Ron. Original Six, the area, what area in Alaska? We are about 13, 14 miles north of Talkeetna. So we're considered south central. We're in
Mhm.
the valley. But I think you've been on here before quite a few times. Original Six. We are 13 miles from the nearest road and town, which is Talkeetna. Except unless you count going across the Susitna River and about 6 ridges. The Parks Highway is actually closer, but you're not going
You
to leave a
can't get
vehicle
there
there.
from here.
And I think that's about maybe 7 or 8 miles away, but
There
it's
are
inaccessible to here.
no
Totally
roads,
inaccessible.
no paths, no
Um,
trails, no nothing.
yeah, so the only way is with the railroad, the river, or helicopter. And
Mhm.
no, I've still have not been in a helicopter yet. And alone, I seen your little thing there. You were up in a helicopter. I'm kind of jealous on
Yes, you
that.
were.
I haven't even been flying since I've been up here, and I got friends that fly. It is a beautiful area, Original Six. It's amazing up here.
Yeah, I
Bill,
bet Alona's gonna have some great YouTube things coming up
yes.
because she's been having a fun time.
Oh yeah. Bill asked, "Are you going to have your greenhouse going in the spring?" Of course.
Yes, earlier this year than
Well,
last.
we had everything ready early this
Oh,
year,
and
but
then
then
it
we got 3 feet of
snowed.
snow in early May,
Mm-hmm.
and that put us off. And then some reason the garden didn't do well, and then all of a sudden it went crazy. We've been getting some tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a number of cucumbers, lettuce. Our cauliflower got burned,
It
and
did. We'll fix that next year. We'll put it back in where
yep.
it's shadier and not
And
so
I've got to put
hot.
fans in there is what it is.
Yes,
And
more
then
ventilation.
the cauliflower or the broccoli,
Broccoli
it bolted
bolted.
early because of the temperatures.
Mhm.
And that's my fault. I knew I was supposed to put a fan system in and help circulate the air, and it did not, or I did not. So it kind of messed that up. So in the springtime, with that greenhouse that's over the barn, I will be putting a fan system in it. And then over this wintertime, I intend to start getting everything cut and ready to put together I call it a monolithic arch
Mhm.
greenhouse. It's
Mhm.
kind of goes up and then kind of comes to a point like that. And I can bend and laminate it all together myself in probably about a week's time after the
Mhm.
wood's all cut.
Mhm.
And we'll use that. I'd really like to have about a 20 by 60 greenhouse, but that's not going to happen. I'm probably going to have to go with 2 or 3 10-foot by 30 footers.
Mhm.
And I should be able to grow as enough food to last us a winter, plus having outdoor crops. We have a lot of potatoes going right now that are getting really good. And I do want to try corn. Josh from Southern Roots Alaskan Branches was telling me about a shorter growing corn.
Oh.
So I think it's either 50 or 55 days instead of the typical 75 days.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping to get my hands on some of those seeds
Only thing I know about corn is it should be knee high by the 4th of
in July.
July.
Yep. Oh, really, John? John says fans are on the way this week. Thank you, brother.
Really?
Appreciate you, man. I really do. You know that. John finds all kinds of deals. And when he does, he thinks of me if it's something I need, and he gets it up here. John says to FJ, the view they have is something out of a photo. It is seeing Denali Mountain almost every morning and evening. Yep.
Mhm.
Bron says, I'm eating scrambled eggs and hamburger burrito and mayo.
Ooh.
Just ooze all over my shirt. Don't you just hate
Oh.
licking food off your shirt? Bron.
Oh.
Alone says, that's awesome, Rob. That is the design style I would like for that greenhouse. So I'll let you
They're
know how
so
it goes.
pretty.
They're not hard to build. I will do a video on that. It takes 2 pieces of wood to make your shape, but you need to bend them. And as you're bending them, you have it already pre-bent, and you take blocks of wood, screw it in along the system. It's kind of like building a boat. And then you take another one and you kind of squeeze it in there. And instead of steam bending it, you just pressure bending it. And then by the time you get all squeezed together, you screw it all together. You take it out of the clamps, and it holds its shape. It's really interesting. I've seen it done a couple times. Brook Trout says, good thing people enjoy the conversation. I'll try and catch up. Your next one. John, be safe with this coming storm.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Brooke Trout. You have a great day, and we'll see you at the next one, my friend. Tony says, make instant potatoes for a long time. Yeah, I don't have a dehydrator, unfortunately. I am trying to work something out with Phyllis and Adam because they do have a freeze dryer where I can have them do some stuff and we'll kick in for the electric bill because they don't have it at their house too because they're off grid. They have it with another friend. So I'm hoping we can work something out to get some stuff done like that. Alone says, hi, Bill. Flew out of Valdez.
Nice.
Onto it, Ozzy. I have a laser light sheeting on a few spots on my shed. It's a no-go zone in the summer. It's snake. Yeah, we don't have snakes.
We don't have snakes.
Everybody's saying bye to brook trout.
Bye, Brooke.
Brun says snake season is nearly here, so I'll be buying snake gators this week. We get poisonous brown snakes and red belly snakes. Nope, I'll pass on the snakes. Snakes actually don't bother me. What makes me scream like a little girl is spiders, and it's only certain types of spiders.
Mhm.
I've been close to being bit by brown recluse and red black widows a few times. So if I see them, I'm out of there. I have been bit by a vinegaroo, and it has that name for a reason. Everything you taste, eat, everything you drink, eat, tastes like vinegar for like a month after you get bit by it. And it was the most excruciating month of my life. And I love food.
Yeah. So,
Everybody starts saying good night to them.
mhm.
Brent says everything in Australia wants to kill you, right? Ashley says, come on, get a sun oven. They can dehydrate and cook with power. Yeah, actually, I had a solar cooker on the boat. It was a small tubular one. I think I actually got it from a company as review. So unfortunately, that stayed with the boat.
Right.
Lone says, I get bit by a brown recluse, so I feel you. Yeah, no, those are horrible. I had a friend that got bit, and he got bit on the elbow, and he had to get multiple skin grafts, but the hole went all the way up to almost to his shoulder. He was bad shape for a long time. John, you know who I'm talking about, Eddie. He had a vacuum bag on his arm for about 3 months,
Oh.
kind of like John did with his chest after he got cracked.
Mm.
It says I can deal with snakes. Spiders freak me out. I'll hurt myself trying to get away. Yeah, I'm not that bad. I mean, I'll grab some, just squish them. The ones here in the house, I generally let them run because I know they're gonna eat the mosquitoes and the flies. For those that don't know, here,
dragonflies.
yeah, here in Alaska, whenever you have a place that gets closed up or lack of use, and then you get warm and cold, the flies come and go with the temperatures. What they'll do is they know they only have a short time to do what they got to do. So they'll breed, go lay eggs, and then when it gets cold, they die. So as soon as you stove up, they hatch, and your house is full of flies. So we like things that'll kill flies.
And since we're here all the time, it's not that big a problem.
Yeah, this year we did not have a bad bug issue at all.
No. And even in mosquito season, well, we had the Thermacell finally. There was a short time when we had mosquitoes, but down by the tracks, the
Tracks is
mosquitoes
always worse.
always heavy.
It's very wet down there.
Awful. Mosquitoes.
Onto it says, yep, walking outdoors is dangerous at times.
Yeah.
Hi, buddy. John says, yep, no joke, no fun. Mm-hmm.
Well, if mosquitoes are our worst problem, we're fine.
Yep. Onto it, Ozzy. My house is full of them, run because of the river.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley says, I had blood poisoning from a spider. Yes, hi. Okay, go away.
Yes, that's enough. That's enough.
I don't want kisses right now.
I don't want the tail end.
Blood free. I sometimes bite myself when I eat food too fast. My cheek hurts.
Oh.
Ashley, I had blood poisoning from a spider bite once. Not cool. No, that is not cool. Says, you are so lucky. The flies, mosquitoes have been horrendous this year. No, it really wasn't that bad.
No.
There was only a few times where I couldn't open up the front door and leave it open. There was days where we just left the front door wide open. just to keep, the temperature even in the house. Towards the end of, like, when John came up, we'd run a thermocell outside and
Yes.
just keep that away. And I have a little, USB bug zapper, which
Mhm.
actually works quite well for the amount of power it draws.
Mhm.
But we got really lucky with bugs this year, and we
We
were
really
expecting it
did.
to be worse because of all the water we had last fall.
Yes.
And
Worse than this year. I mean, it was.
well, last year we had, I think they said from beginning of July until basically the first snowfall, I think we had like 30 something inches of rain last year
It was a lot.
over
It's
like a
very
3-month
wet.
time period. It
It
was
rained
horrible.
almost every day,
I thought we were
almost all day.
I thought we moved to Southeast Alaska instead of South Central. Let's
It was
see.
wet.
Bill says, I have to take the insulation out of my remote cabin roof, and there are several bunches of fly found.
Yeah.
John says, moose baby.
Mm. Mm.
Zeus and John hit it off very well because John gave Zeus
Yes.
M&Ms.
Oh, and nuts.
And nuts and whatever else John was eating. Clint says, mosquitoes have been brutal this year. Brun says, hello, beautiful, handsome Zeus.
Yes. His name should be
Don't say that. It'll go to his head.
Mooch instead of Mooch.
Yep.
For Zeus.
Alone says, jealous, LOL. Bill says, mosquitoes were real bad here at my place this summer. Nope, not bad here. I mean, Adam and Phyllis tell you, they came up and it was not bad up here at all for them. I mean, downstairs it was kind of because we were out walking around in the grass. But as soon as we went up to the second floor for the live, they disappeared.
Yeah, they did.
But after that, that was it. That was actually at the height of the mosquito issue.
It was.
Seashell says mosquitoes have been bad here in SoCal this year too. Yeah, they probably don't allow you to spray anything down there. I'm surprised they didn't even let you have a thermosol. They get so bad down there. Matt says to Bill, Alaska's last frontier. But actually, I think I bought it at. They might have bought it up at Amazon. Bug zappers that are like half the size of me.
Yeah.
And I didn't want anything like that.
No, that's what we used when I was raising dairy replacement heifers. I mean, great big.
Yeah. A good sized moth hits it and it's going off for like 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Brun says, I had one. Yep. One mosquito the other night. I hunted it, the little furker, with a can of bug spray for 20 minutes. He didn't get in your shop, did he? And, for those that don't know, Brun's shop is immaculate. If Brun comes up here, Brun can stay free. She's got to help me clean up the shop. Oh. And if you haven't, she makes a mean chocolate cake that she gave me the recipe to.
Was that
and
good?
Oh my God, that was good. I think I did a short video on making
yummy.
that. Matt says, I have to stop commenting the stream buffers whenever Rob talks about my comments.
Oh, poor dear.
Matt, let me know when you're coming up around this area. Hopefully come up before like the 14th of September, because after the 14th of September, we're going to be out from like the 14th to the 16th. And then we're thinking that they're going to do the hurricane party train, which is for the operators up here on the 17th.
And that's
pretty much, actually, no, the 18th is the last day, but they're doing the party on the 17th. So that way, if anybody wants to come up for any last minute things on the hurricane on the 17th, they can go back home the next day.
Get back home the next day. Good.
Not a problem, Matt. You're welcome up here anytime you want, brother.
Absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah. I do have a sweet workshop. I spend lots of time in it, polishing things, building things, and stripping wire. It's fun.
It's fun. It's fun.
John says, Sarah kept chasing me around with the broom. It was like I was doing something. No, your nickname is Pigpen, John. No, she does that to me too. She gave up, actually.
It's the boots. It's the boots.
Especially, with me, because I wear the military boots. I get deep treads. So if I step in mud, it comes in with me for like 3 days. Same mud hole. But yeah, no.
Oh, poor John.
I kept telling Sarah, stop sweeping at lunch. Wait until I'm done for the day because you're wasting your time. And the big thing is I need to get some paratrooper boots where they have the zippers on the side so I can get them on and off easier. Because right now I've
Yeah.
got to double knot my military boots, and it's better to get them off. So I'm like, I ain't taking them off. You're gonna have to sweep later.
My boots, I slip them off by the door and I slip them back on by the door.
That's because she uses rubber boots all the time.
I do.
Just in case they're trying to get their live going.
Mhm.
Grab your phone, text Phyllis, tell her to text us when they're ready to start so I can share the link.
I'd have to walk in front of you. There's no
There you
room.
go.
Oh, I don't have my glasses.
Go that way.
I'm going to walk right in front of you.
Sorry, guys.
I'll go around.
Bill's posting his channels. Bill says, I wanted to get up to see you, but just too busy this summer. Everybody, it's summer, Bill. We're all busy this time of
Everybody's
year.
crazy busy.
Do we have a stockpile in the pantry, Brun? It's getting there. I've got to go through my stocks of flour and sugar. I need to make sure I've got enough bread. Well, actually, I got plenty of bread flour. I need to see if I have all-purpose flour, and I need to see how much sugar I have. Might need another 50-pound bag of rice. I don't know. Rice kind of backed off on the rice. I like my potatoes. But I'll here in a video here sometime soon, even a short, I'll show the pantry. It's kind of a mess because it's also my electrical room and I'm redoing some wiring. Bill said, oh, he's sharing links for Alaska Cut the Cord. They're live tonight. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. John says to Brun, yes, they do. And we have, like I said, we had 2 freezers. One died. We got a new one coming. And the one freezer that is still working is being a pain in the butt, being a pet often. That the freezer kind of goes ballistic. What happens? It'll draw between 40 to my battery bank for about 5 minutes, and then it'll go into its cycle. And it was doing this repeatedly for like 2-3 hours, and it was freaking me out because I pay attention to my systems like a hawk on a mouse in a field. I like to know what's going on at any given time, why it's doing something, and then I started looking at the freezer, and it says indoor use. Yeah. So the new freezer coming is garage rated, and then in the springtime, to avoid this kind of problem again, we're also going to order up a 25 cubic foot freezer, and that is going to be a garage rated as well, so it will not have issues. Right. And I'm going to insulate them more on the outside, and hoping that I can get away with maybe just running a generator for like an hour a day or 2 hours a day to charge them to keep them cold. Because we have not had much sun the last month, pretty much since Hogan left. So blame Hogan. I've having to run the generator every other day. It's as bad as wintertime. Now, in March, beginning of March, I didn't run a generator from March 3rd until mid-May. So I was good with that.
All solar was really
It was
nice.
all solar.
Plenty of energy.
Yep. Brun says, I got a quarter side of beef the other day, so plenty of BBQ meat for here now. You're right.
Yum.
That's why I'm hoping I can get a moose.
Yes, moose would be good.
Otherwise, we're going to have to go back in town at some point this winter to get a lot of meat. We have probably about 60, 70 pounds of, another 40, 50 pounds of, no, probably about 60 pounds of beef and a bunch of chicken. And
a little bit of store-bought fish.
Yep.
And still a little bit of what Adam and
Phyllis
gave
goes.
us.
And Whit says, I finally decided to stop sweeping the floor the day my son comes home from work. All he has to do is walk in and the floors are dirty.
Yeah. Right.
No, Brun, I did not do any fishing at all. I did try to fish, but not very much. The fish I do have was gratefully given to us by Adam and Phyllis at Alaska Cut the Cord. Not a lot, but they gave us some, and we're very appreciative of them. John's laughing. Ashley, tracking up the floor is probably one of the reasons I'm divorced. John says solar this year coming. I hope so. I'm actually talking with another friend of ours. We're probably going to go and in with him to order up some panels. He's talking about ordering a pallet
Yeah.
And we'll probably take a third of the pallet, and he'll probably take 2/3 of the pallet.
2/3.
We'll figure out what the ratio is. But I want at least another. I got 6 panels up now. I'd like another 6 if I could, and that should get me even in the cloudy days where I can get a decent charge.
Mhm.
And then I need probably about another 6 over at the cabin. The panels that are over there are about 25 years old.
Right. And they do help. They make a big difference.
They do work, but there's not enough. It'll take a full day and a half to charge it from 50% because they don't put enough power out. They're only 88 watts, but the ones I have here are 315s. And Bren says to Annette, that's the boys for you, right? Carry dust in their pockets. Onto it, Ozzy. I'm cleaning out my freezer at the moment. The second fridge canning stuff instead. Power bills are crazy, even though we don't use much. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
bad. It's like that. It's getting like that everywhere. And unfortunately, our crazy government's trying to ban certain things. Like they were talking about banning ceiling fans the other day, or certain makes of ceiling fans. It's like,
Wow.
and then trying to tell us we can only have 2 beers. Now, it don't matter to me. I don't really drink beer,
No.
but still,
I could have 2 beers a year and it would be too many.
it's almost like they're trying
But
to turn it into a dictatorship or something. I don't know. It makes no sense to me. I hate
Mhm.
politics. I really do. Brunt says Australian power bills have skyrocketed, which is hard and unfair to the people. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
getting bad all over the place.
Mhm.
It really is.
Mhm.
I mean, I'd hate to see John's electric bill.
Oh.
I mean, I know what his house is like. I know what kind of temperatures he keeps it. And I know the electronics the man has.
Mm. Wow.
Onto it, Ozzy. Gas is banned from new houses in Victoria. Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's our main.
Well, it's probably going to be natural gas. So they allow you
Well,
propane
natural.
down there?
Okay.
Alone says the government is overstepping its bounds. Yes, it is.
Indeed.
It has been for some time. I will say that. Like I said, I'm not a big politic person, but they have overstepped, telling us what we can and can't have. It started with New York telling people they can't have a 32-ounce soda. I'm sorry. If I've got 3 employees out there working, busting their butt in the hot sun, and they want, a big thing of cola that's going to last them 3 hours, 4 hours,
Sure.
versus them
Indeed.
going through one every hour and they have to go back to the store to get it. No, I'll
way.
give you the big drink. That's just silly. Seashells. Yep. California. Enough said. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Yeah.
I heard that they had a problem with those little paper straws that they made you guys have because they put them in plastic. Go figure. Well, they
That's
did
kind
it.
of
They
an
did the paper
oxymoron.
straws because they wanted to protect the turtles and the sea
Right,
life, stuff
yeah.
like that. But
But
yet they
they've-
have the plastic
They put
packaging.
them on plastic
It
packaging.
makes no sense. John says electric bills between 360 to 460. John's got a big house
Mhm.
and he's got a nice pool and he's got toys.
Your toys.
And Brunt says, Alone, you are absolutely correct.
What is he doing?
He's over there rolling around.
Rolling around.
He's rolling and snarfing. Bill says the government only wants the best for you. Honestly, yeah, you can go tell yourself that, Bill.
But the best is different for different people. We have
Yeah.
different needs, different tastes, even different philosophies.
Yeah, and they want to go all green, all electric vehicles. That ain't gonna
Oh,
work for
that's
us.
crazy. There's not enough electricity anyway.
Can you see? Can you try to see an electric snow machine? Not happening. Electric side by
No.
side. I'm sure they have them already. It ain't happening. Then they got to tell me you can't live off grid. Yeah.
Right. Not.
Come get me off my mountain.
Mhm.
Onto it, Ozzy. No gas appliances allowed at all in new construction. Oh, hell no. Yeah, I'd be creating a methane digester. Make
I've
my
had
own.
gas stoves my entire life.
Yep.
My mother had them. I had them, except in the smallest of apartments that we rented. But anytime I owned a place, it always had a gas stove. They reliably, more evenly, more control.
Yep. Yeah, there's you can
They
fine
work
tune.
better.
You can fine tune a gas stove then quicker than you can electric.
Oh yeah.
Alone says right, Ashley, because Ashley said 1984.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Alone, there's a book you got, and I need to track a copy of it down. You know what I'm talking about.
Mm.
Anturazzi says, I pay $80 a month for power, and it went to 130, and all new charges. Not happy. Wow, that's a huge increase.
That's a big jump.
That's almost twice what your bill was. Matt says, all I know is I didn't have state income taxes on my last paycheck, and it was glorious. Now to ditch the federal somehow, that ain't going to happen.
Mm.
You ain't going to be able to ditch the Fed. 10-minute cities and agenda 2030. Yeah, no. Yeah, I feel bad for the people in Maui. They're trying to do that 10-minute city crap.
I don't know what that is.
Basically, it's going to be all electronic and electric, and no.
Electricity is
So it's basically going to be like a smart city. You know, you'd say, "Hey Siri," and okay, it didn't do it. If I say things, certain keywords on my computer, it picks it up and it says, "Oh, hello." Clint said, ever since they started banning plastic, I know I have gone around and choked turtles by hand. You doing it, Mooch?
Phyllis says, we're home. She'll be ready in 15 minutes.
Okay, so Adam and Phyllis will be ready in about 15 minutes.
Yay.
Look, Uncle John's on there. Uncle John's on there.
Jesus.
He ain't
I
interested.
Don't see him.
He doesn't see
hear
that.
him, and I don't see him.
He doesn't see an M&M coming through the screen.
No.
Look at his big eyes.
No.
He wants something. What do you want?
What do you got? I'll take it.
Go ahead. All right, so we're going to start. We'll just do a little bit more talking, and we're going to switch over to Adam and Phyllis here. I'm missing something here. Okay, Bron, I have a 6.6K kW solar and 3 massive rainwater tanks, so my costs are low. I grow veggies and kill meat. It's hard, but I think while I can do it, I'll do it. I can cook outside on wood too. What do you hunt down there, Bron? You getting roo? And yes, people. Kangaroo. It actually tastes good. I've had kangaroo burgers in the Bahamas. It's the other red meat, kind of like manatee's the other white meat. Oops, did I say that? I've never eaten manatee. Tudazi, yep. Welcome to Dan County or Dan Country. Clint smiling, or actually smiling at Clint. Brun says you got to make many options for yourself to get by. Yes, you do. Alone says, that is the Wi-Fi password, Glen Allen Library, 1984. Scared me when I saw it. That's good.
Yeah.
John says, my homeowner's insurance went from $6,500 to $8,700, and they still have not fixed my house from the last Hurricane Ian last year. Yeah, and they're supposed to be coming to your house tomorrow, John. Let me know how that goes, brother. Give me a call when they leave. I want to be a fly on that wall. Brunt says, and I use cash mostly from when I did that last bank holdup. And Wood says, to register my car here, gas 35, alternative fuels, $100 for electric cars, $200. Wow.
Well,
it's because they're not getting the road tax for the gasoline is why they're doing that. Bill says 10-minute cities also have everything you will need within 10-minute public transportation. Drop now. I'll pass on our 10-minute city.
I registered my truck when we got up here. And because of my age, I don't have to register.
Yeah, she's got a permanent tag on it.
I have a permanent tag on my truck.
Hey,
as long as I own my truck.
There's Mountain Mariner. How you doing, Ed? Did you make it back to the cabin yet? Brun says, I buy baby steer cattle, fatten them up, and send them to the butcher. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. I mean, I've actually joked about getting a cow up here, but it's kind of hard to get a cow up here.
It is.
Everybody's greeting Ed. I wanted to marry my English teacher when she got out of jail, but apparently you can't end a sentence with or other proposition. And that's not surprising that they all canceled. Did Comcast cancel too, John?
That's so cute.
Everybody's greeting Ed. And those that don't know, Ed is the jokester of the group. I have a Z-Tag on one of my trucks due to the age of the truck. She's got a P tag, not a Z tag.
It's wonderful.
She got the old lady card on that one.
There are advantages.
And Mom says, nope, they're trying to get a hold of me here again. And John dropped the link for Ed. Nope, Comcast still coming good. Hey, Rebecca. Make sure you share Rebecca's channel. I'm going to be on Rebecca's YouTube channel. I think it is. Let me check my calendar. Let me see. Don't go nowhere, guys. We got a few more minutes. Nope, that's not it. I need that. And it's going to be September 6th with Rebecca Touched by Yarn. And we're going to be sitting there chatting. She's going to be knitting me a hat.
Yeah.
She is an amazing person and has an amazing channel. So make sure you guys check her out. Let's see, make sure I'm not missing anything before we get out of here and go to Adam and Phyllis's in about 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. Funny stuff, Mountain Mary. Yeah, Ed's always got some good jokes. Onto it, Ozzy had all that on my property too, Bron. Unfortunately, now I rent in town until I can get another property. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you got a property, keep the property. Don't go to town. Don't rent. Renting is wasted money, unfortunately. Everybody's greeting Rebecca. Matt says, I got a Z tag for my trailer, but the truck is too new. Got to pay the man for 5 more years for it. Yeah, right. Thank you for sharing Rebecca's link, Bill. Go too fast there. Rebecca's greeting people says, okay. Tony says, okay, Rob, I need to put out animals and do some edit on video. Have a great week. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate you stopping by. It's always a pleasure to see you, my friend. John shared Rebecca's link. Annette says, yeah, I looked that up for moving up there. I would only have to do it one. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. And it wasn't that expensive either.
No.
It was not that expensive. Now the truck's pretty much got a tag on it until Sarah's gone, which hopefully is a long time from now.
I'm pretty healthy.
Yep. Oh, a hat is cool. Yeah, she makes some nice hats. And I came down like this because I'm trying to use my mouse to scroll through so I don't lose anybody before we got to get out of here. Mm-hmm. Bill, if you would drop Adam Phil's link to their live again for me. Tony saying, good night to everybody. Brun, is it for warmth or for balding issues? I'm not really balding. My hair's pulled back. That's why it looks like that. And it's quite long. Very few people have seen me with my hair down. Alone has seen me with my hair down, and Adam and Phyllis have seen me with my hair down, and John has too. But other than that, most people see me with my hair pulled back. So it makes me look like I got a Klingon forehead. It's really not that bad. John is talking to Rebecca. Anyone win the side-by-side naming contest yet? No. Sarah's got to pick the name. She's him and Han about it all. I know it's going to do a poll and let all you guys choose, but Sarah wants to choose it. But she's liking a couple of names on there. Mm-hmm. I know you vote for your entry, Ed.
I'm going to choose. Control freak.
Yep. So let me just give me 1 second. I'm going to try to do something real quick. Don't go nowhere. I'm messing with my computer, so if I disappear, yell at her.
Yeah, I don't do anything with computers.
All right. I was just seeing if they had started their live yet, and they have not. Name it the turtle. No, it's not slow.
It's not that slow. Well, when I drive, it's a little slow. But when he drives, zoom, zoom, zoom.
My record for in the wintertime from the tracks to the house and back is when Mac was up here visiting. I forgot his ticket at the house.
Oh, yeah.
I made it from the tracks to the house and back in 3.5 minutes. And that's a mile each way. Yeah. So I was standing on the throttle. And our trail is like all over the place.
And this,
but
too.
I also bank my corners in the wintertime. I'm an old racer, so I kind of get in there and make it so I can just stick to the track. She don't like it much when she's on it because she's leaning. But I've done about 15 miles an hour max on the side by side, and I could probably go a little faster, but I don't want to push it. I don't want
I've
to
done
damage the
8
machine. Yeah, that's actually
max.
done. It's usually 3. You see the abuse. um, Bill is saying hello to Ed. John says, "Stop hot dogging her side by side."
Yeah.
Well, John, that'd be like Angie telling you to stop hot dogging the Ford Lightning. Are you going to listen?
Does he ever listen?
Brun says your trail's a river right now. It's actually dried up quite a bit
They
in the
are.
last day or so.
Good.
That video was shot 2 days ago. You should have seen this turtle move across. Oh, John, there was a turtle issue we had at John's old place, and oh my God, we called him Speedy.
Hmm.
He chased us down the driveway. It was horrible. It was actually hysterical. Alone is greeting Ed. Ed says, "Has anyone else ordered the book How to Scam People Online?" It's a it's a month it hasn't arrived.
Dear.
Oh, Ed. How about a Road Runner? Actually, I had a 1969 and a half.
Huh.
That was my favorite car. That's my John says that's my truck. Well, side by side's partly mine. I do all the maintenance. I fill it up with gas. No, I don't drive like an idiot. I only do that on the 4-wheeler. Everybody's greeting Ed. Bill says my book arrived Mountain Marina off grid. It's because he's a publisher, Ed. I'm just busting your chops, Bill. As I walked through a quarry, I said to the foreman, "That is sure a big rock." Sure, a big rock. He looked at it and said, "Boulder." So I said, "That sure is a big rock." Ed. All right, let me just check see if they're on live yet. No. I'm gonna give it about another minute or so, and then we're all gonna jump off here. We're gonna go over and wait for them over there, if that's okay with y'all. So in the meantime, let me just read Ed's last. Oh, hey, that's the same one, but the rock.
That was so cute.
Bill, do me a favor, or John, post Adam and Phyllis's live link one more time, and then I'll say goodbyes here, and we'll all jump over to Adam and Phyllis's live and shock them with all the amount of people that are going to be in there. All right. So I'd like to thank the moderators as always.
Absolutely.
Bill, John, Alone.
Oh, it's so good to have you back.
Yeah, it's very good to have you back.
Visiting vacation, your family vacation people.
Yep.
Coming in.
So everybody else, Brun, Onto It, Ozzy, Annette, Ashley, Ed from Mountain Mariner, all of you guys, it's always a pleasure to have you guys here. It's always a pleasure to see you in our lives. It's always a pleasure to see you commenting and liking our videos that we do. Yes. There's a lot more videos going to be coming out soon. The wintertime, I'm going to try to double up on some of them and get a little bit more out to you guys. I'm going to be doing a lot more in the wintertime. I have some plans. I'll go over that in another live, what my plans are for the winter. Love you too, Brother John. Yes. I'll give you a call tomorrow sometime. Just be careful with that storm coming in towards you. All right, brother?
Yeah.
My brother was going to pick the turtle up, and it started moving really quickly. Thank you, Bron. Bye, Bron. Bye, Clint. AFJ, if you're still in here. Again, I'm sorry I missed you when you came into town for the meetup. Yeah. I really wish I could have been in there, but we had guests up. That day. Yeah, we had guests up. So Seashell.
That's the day the train could bring them.
Yep. Good to see you, Seashell, and I'm sure I'm missing somebody in here, and I'm sorry if I did. Original 6, thank you, Ashley, again. Y'all are amazing, and we appreciate each and every one of you guys. I will set the live for next week. I'm actually going to try something a little different so I can share a little clips that I have on my computer. I'm going to try to do it with the StreamYard next week and see if I can share little bits and pieces of things that we're working on so you can see references to what we're doing and what we're talking about. So we'll give that a try next week. And also, if somebody else wants to pop on, they can. So, all right, let's go over onto it, Ozzy or Brun saying bye from Brun Free. Good seeing you, Brun. Thank you. Bye. Onto it, Ozzy. Thanks, Rob and Sarah, for sharing your time with us. See you all at the ACTC. All right, let's go. Pastor Adam and Phyllis. Let's get out of here, guys. See you there. Bye.